Hello, good evening, or whatever time of day it is for you. Lesson 5. I am never upset for the reason I think. This idea, like the preceding one, can be used with any person, situation, or event you think is causing you pain. Apply it specifically to whatever you believe is the cause of your upset, using the description of the feeling in whatever terms seem accurate to you. The upset may seem to be fear, worry, depression, anxiety, anger, hatred, jealousy, or any number of forms, all of which will be perceived as different. This is not true. However, until you learn that form does not matter, each form becomes a proper subject for the exercises for the day. Applying the same idea to each of them separately is the first step in ultimately recognizing they are all the same. When using the idea for today for a specific perceived cause of an upset in any form, use both the name of the form in which you see the upset and the cause which you ascribe to it. For example, I am not angry at blank for the reason I think. I am not afraid of blank for the reason I think. So you're naming the emotion that you feel. Is it fear? Is it anger? Is it annoyance? Is it irritation? You have to take the time and sit with that thing that's bothering you and figure out what is it that I'm feeling and what is it directed at. Then you just share it and say I'm not blank at blank for the reason I think. But again, this should not be substituted for practice periods in which you first search your mind for sources of upset in which you believe and forms of upset which you think result. That sentence may sound weird to you. I just read it like 4 times. Sometimes the course writes things in a way that seem like they don't make sense, or I don't know, sometimes it feels like you're reading Shakespeare. Don't feel bad. I reread sentences in this course sometimes 10 times, and then I meditate on it, and then I still am like, okay, I think I get it. This part basically means the first step to today's lesson is to find in your mind the things that are upsetting you. In these exercises, more than in the preceding ones, you may find it hard to be indiscriminate and to avoid giving greater weight to some subjects than to others. It might help to precede the exercises with the statement, "There are no small upsets. They are all equally disturbing to my peace of mind." So even if it seems like I call them micro upsets or micro judgments, even if it's tiny, it's like if there is a piece of glass and it has millions of tiny dots on it, eventually it's going to look dirty. And so if you have millions of tiny upsets, it will impact your peace of mind. So the course doesn't look at any upset as greater or smaller because they all affect you being at full peace. Then examine your mind for whatever is distressing you, regardless of how much or how little you think it is doing so. So whatever pops into your mind, maybe it's just a fly buzzing around and it's annoying you. Use it. Don't go, oh, well, that's not big enough. No, it's something that is affecting your peace of mind. You may also find yourself less willing to apply today's idea to some perceived sources of upset than to others. If this occurs, think first of this. I cannot keep this form of upset and let the others go. For the purposes of these exercises, then, I will regard them all as the same. So kind of like in the previous exercises where if your eyes landed on something and you didn't want to admit that it didn't mean anything to you, or that it didn't mean anything, period, you couldn't gloss over it, you couldn't skip it. You had to acknowledge everything that your eyes landed on. In this case, it's important to acknowledge everything your mind lands on. So any thought, no matter how big or how small, how close to your heart or far, it's important to acknowledge it. Then search your mind for no more than a minute or so, and try to identify a number of different forms of upset that are disturbing you, regardless of the relative importance you may give them. Apply the idea for today to each of them, using the name of both the source of the upset as you perceive it and the feeling or emotion as you experience it. Further examples are, I am not worried about blank for the reason I think. I am not depressed about blank for the reason I think. 3 or 4 times during the day is enough. Now let's do the actual exercise. The first part of the exercise today is digging through your thoughts and finding those that are disturbing your peace of mind. So, you may not believe me, but I sat for what felt like long enough, and I really couldn't think of anything that was disturbing my peace of mind, so I'm going to make a few up. I'm not irritated by the bug flying around the light for the reason I think. I'm not irritated by the person who cut me off in traffic for the reason I think. I'm not worried about my rent for the reason I think. Oftentimes when we get upset, we think we know why we're upset, or we think we know who we're upset with. The neat thing that you will learn as we keep going is that it's usually different than what you think. Part of what we're going to learn is how to understand what we're really upset about, and then take it a step further and learn how to find peace and move on. It's an incredible thing. It's an incredible feeling. I'm really grateful I'm doing these lessons again, because the last time I did this lesson was almost 2 years ago. I remember having a litany of things that were upsetting me. And today I really had a hard time thinking of something that I'm upset about, no matter how small. That's not to say that I'm somehow better. It's just that I've spent a lot of time working through the things that upset me and connecting with the source. I'm excited to tell you that it is possible to change. I personally have had quite a few moments of depression, of extreme anger at my parents, at moments from my childhood, at people I'm in relationships with, you name it. I have been in some really, really dark places before and worked with therapists and kept repeating cycles and was scared that I would never find my way out. But doing this lesson today showed me that I am finding my way out. I am growing, I am changing, I am letting go of those patterns of thought that were holding me back from friendships, opportunities. I really hope you stick with the lessons. Even if you put it down for 3 or 4 months or 3 or 4 years, I really hope you stick with this and find the peace that is available. If you don't find it here, I hope you find it somewhere, because I feel so grateful right now, and I just want everyone to be in a place of appreciation and hope. So enjoy this lesson, enjoy your day, your evening, and I'll see you next time.